Hey guys, back at it again with my good buddy here, Mike Salemi, and we wanted to kind of address a few questions that we got continuously on our forum, and just in general, we've gotten a lot of questions about kettlebells from just your average person, and I thought it would be kind of a cool thing to talk about. What kettlebells should we start with? Like, what should we look out for, Mike?
So in terms of getting started, we'll first start off with what weight to choose. So in terms of male and female, this is really going to vary obviously on the individual. So what level of fitness you're coming in with, what's maybe your athletic background, have you ever used bells before? But in general, let's take males and females. So in general, if you're relatively new starting off with kettlebells, and I had to choose 3 weights, if I was a male, I would choose 16, 20, and 24 kilo bells.
Okay.
Now, if you maybe have a little bit less experience, I would also maybe choose one down, like 12 kilos. But if I were to choose 3, it would be 16, 20, and a 24 kilo bell.
Okay, no, not kilos, pounds.
Convert
for me.
So we're looking at 2.2 about pounds to 1 kilo. So about, I think it's like a 32 to 35 pound bell,
okay,
and then a 44 pound bell, and then you're looking at like a 52 or 54 pound bell.
Okay, great.
And then for females, what I would suggest starting off with is an 8 kilo or about a 16 pound bell. And then you're looking at 12 kilos, so about 24 to 26 pound bell. And then I would also go with a 20 kilo bell.
Okay, so now some people have also asked, like, should I just get 1? Should I get 2? Like, does it really matter that I have like a set to start with?
I would suggest start off with singles. So if you have to choose 3 singles. Then once you've mastered that, then I would start getting into doubles. And I would do doubles obviously of the same weights that you choose. And then once you've got at least 3 pairs of doubles, then I would start filling in the other sizes.
Okay, yeah, because I would think as far as like what types of exercises you could do, that's going to increase obviously with 2, and you're going to get, get away from just unilateral training and specifically for that. So there's benefits to that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you with 2 bells, you can load it much more. The technicality goes up. So especially as you're first learning, the technicality of movements with 1 bell is going to be a little bit easier. So practice with single bell, and then you'll be able to transfer the technique to double bell work. Okay,
great. And just let's talk about these kettlebells specifically here. And I know Kettlebell Kings, these are kettlebells that we've talked to these guys. Great brand, great company. Can you explain just like the window and what these kettlebells are typically used for, this style?
So we've got two styles. These are both steel kettlebells. And if you were to compare these 2 steel bells to something like this, which is a cast iron bell, as you can notice, they're all very different, right? So these 2 bells are going to be the most similar. This is a competition bell that we use in, let's say, kettlebell sport. Now this bell this is a 28 kilo bell. So this bell is all 1 cast, okay? Meaning if you look at something like this, it's cast here, welded, and then cast here. So this is going to be, if you were to do something like a snatch or a clean, this is going to be a little bit more bottom heavy. Whereas this has got 1 single cast, so it's very, very balanced. And as you can notice, as you increase in weight, all of the bells remain the same size.
Right.
So when you're doing more technical movements that involve what we call hand insertion is just when you're doing a clean and you insert the hand through the bell, or when you're doing a snatch and you insert the hand through the bell. As you progress in load, the technique stays the same because the bell size stays the same and also the window size stays the same.
Right. You want all that to stay congruent, and so you can count on, being able to go through those real technical moves and have that all be accounted for.
The less variables, the better.
The better, right.
So whereas if you were using a cast iron bell, as you increase or decrease in load, the entire bell size changes shape. So the ball changes, the window changes, even the handle thickness might change a little bit. One's not necessarily better than the other, but my preference, if I'm doing more longer duration exercises or more technical exercises, I really like the competition bells.
Okay, so now along those lines, as far as weight transfer and the actual size of the bell, can you describe, like, okay, so if you're swinging it, I mean, you really feel the difference there, like if say the weight is really concentrated in a smaller type of bell, or say it's a bigger surface size?
For swings in general, what I usually say for swings or even like strength-based movements, In my opinion, it doesn't matter too much. It's just when you get to the higher technical movements, especially, let's say, especially with that degree of hand insertion. So anytime the bell is moving around an object, I'll really feel it, especially if I'm lifting something that's very bottom heavy and I'm doing a clean, which is where the bell comes up through the middle and then you insert the hand. If it's very bottom heavy, meaning the weight of the bell is more concentrated away from my center of mass, if I don't have a really clean technique, it'll sometimes pull me forward. Whereas if the bell is more balanced and a single cast like this, more the center of mass is going to be higher up on the bell, so it'll be closer to the center line.
So yeah, basically they plate load it then in order to increase but maintain the same cast. That's how they get it to that type of a kettlebell.
I think with actually some of the heavier bells they do that, but if you look inside here, it's actually the wall thickness that thickens.
I see. Okay.
But I believe in like the heavy bells there is like a weight inside, but the actual inside wall thickness, the diameter, inside diameter gets thicker here.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
But it's a great, they really made a great product. So these are my favorite bells, but these bells, both the steel bells here and the cast iron are both excellent. And they also hold chalk really well too. So these are powder coated. This you can see, this obviously I was using this. This is beat up a little bit, but this is steel. And so we'll have another video after where we teach you how to chalk.
Yeah, exactly. We'll make sure and go through that and the process that takes. So, well, there you go. There's a way that you can kind of take your first steps into the kettlebell direction. And you can also pick up kettlebells at kettlebellkings.com, use code MINDPUMP, and also check out our 30 days of coaching, and we'll see you next video.